We have chosen the economic aspect and environmental aspect. On the economic aspect, we want to know the differences between Hong Kong and Taiwan. And the environmental aspect is environment is very important to our lives. It can change our lives, and so we want to study more on it.
According to our data analysis data in Taiwan about our questionnaire state, we can see that the quality of life in Taiwan clearly. So, as we see that on the monthly income of the respondents, that means the Taiwanese, we can see that most of them are come from the middle class. Like it's above 80% of people was in middle class. So we can prove that nobles are not that common in Taiwan, but middle classes are very common in Taiwan. So that we can also prove that the disparity in Taiwan is factually not that common. So as we go down to the next chart, do you agree about the disparity in Taiwan is serious? And according to our data, that 80% of people was disagree with them, and it proves that in terms of Taiwanese opinion, we can prove that the disparity in Taipei is not that serious. And as we go down that, what is the reasons that causes the disparity in Taipei? So there are several reasons that actually there are 5 reasons for that, and another one is NANRs. And we give them 3 reasons for that. One is intergenerational, and next one is aging population, and the first one is high property prices, and the most of concern is the high property prices from our questionnaire, which is 29 respondents for answering this. And so that we can prove that from the in terms of opinions, Taiwanese think that the high property prices was causing the disparity in Taipei. And the other options was not mentioned is the political structure in Taipei, economic downturn, collusion between the government and merchant, and low employment and opportunities. And as we go down again, so we can see how do you think about the housing price in Taiwan, and most of them answers unreasonably. So as we in terms of opinion, Taiwanese think that the housing price is not not reasonable. And we go down to the reasons for why the housing price in Taipei is not unreasonable. And as we see on the chart, the speculation problem was the most people concerned, which are the most serious. 43 responses was answering this, and for the answers optionals, some of the people answered about the people living concentrate in Taipei, which is similar to Hong Kong, that the phenomenon happens. After we quickly go through the economic aspect of Taiwan, so we are going down to the environmental aspect about the Taiwan. So the first question is, do you agree with Taiwan is a clean city? And most of them agree with that. That is over 60% of people, of the respondents answered. So in terms of opinion, Taiwanese think that the Taipei is a clean city. And as we go down, that do you think the pollution in Taipei is not serious? And most of them was answered disagree. And as we see that, although the Taipei is a clean city, but the pollution problem was the most serious in Taiwan. And we go down to improvements of Taiwan. How can you suggest the government to improve the environment from Taiwan is? And most of them answered the strengthening the waste treatment system. And we think that the strengthening the waste treatment system is the most concerned as well, because the waste problem is is the most concerned and needed in Taiwan. And the other answers is for the suggestions for the government to improve the environment is the enhanced punishment. That means to increase the punishment for the people that is disrespectful to the environment, such as littering or environmental and other environmental distraction. So we go down again and look through the kinds of pollution that's the most concern in Taipei, and 34 responses was answers the air pollution. And the other answers for the pollution is the dog excrement in Taiwan. Yes, we can organize that dog excrement is quite serious in Taiwan, but not the most concern. We most concern the air pollution as well, and most of the Taiwanese agree with that as well. Because according to our second-hand research, we can show that the environmental protection curriculum was declared that Taiwan was serious in air pollution problem because of the industrialization and the environmental disturbance that causes the air pollution. And after we do this and do this research and this analysis, so we are going down to the main reasons that causes the pollution in Taipei, and mainly that we can show that 46 respondents was answered release carbon dioxide, and the other answers for the main reasons that caused the pollution was smoking and basin topology in Taiwan. And car releases CO2, we can recognize that because most of them are holding a motorbike, and most of the citizens was not traveled by bus. They are traveled by cars or any vehicles individually, with one person each. So I think that the car release CO2 was acceptable for Taiwanese answer this. And we are going down to the green spacing in Taiwan, that Do you think that there is enough greening in Taipei? And most of the people answered agreement. And it is about 76% of people was answering agreement. And we can show that the green spacing in Taiwan is available for the citizens, and it is satisfaction for the Taiwanese people. And what kind of policy do you think government can pursue to establishing the green community? And most of the people have two answers. One is encouraging people planting and establish more green facilities. And these are the two main points that the Taiwan is more concerned. But the other answers is the green building and the protection of old trees. The protection of old trees is mainly that is most concerned in Hong Kong, but not in Taiwan. So there is a difference in it, and it is and about the most concern of Taiwan, establishing more green facilities, like building parks in there, or more environmental forests for them to visit. Yeah, it increases the quality of life in Taiwan, and also the environmental protection did in Taiwan. So it encourages people planning is because to increase the green spacing.
In the conclusion, the residents of Taiwan think the environment is good enough. However, the air pollution is the most serious problem for environmental because there is a lot of cars such as motorcycles. For the economic aspect, most of the people have more than 10,000 Hong Kong dollars income. It is same to Hong Kong, but the price of Taiwan is convenient. But they also cannot afford the housing price. So the residents of Taiwan have high quality of life because the environment is better than Hong Kong.
So, the winners of economic aspect in Taipei will be the high housing prices, and the strength of economic aspect will be the disparity is not serious. And for environmental aspect, the winners will be there are too many air pollution because the too many cars on road give out the carbon dioxide. And for the strength, it will be Taipei has enough greening